Last time on Reel Geeks.
Here we are with the big one. The really big one.
That's right, 10 years of prequels and we finally hit the main story. So apparently, since he's not going to say it, for those of you who may have missed the title card, we're discussing Avengers Infinity War.
How you missed the title card, I don't know, but...
For those of you who don't know, this is basically the Marvel Universe's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. This is not the time to come into the franchise. So, funny story, guys. It turns out that when Thanos demanded our silence, he was not kidding. So we're just gonna jump right in because A, I don't want Thanos to strike again, and B, we're recording in my parents' apartment. So many thanks to them, and I want to get the hell out of here as fast as possible. You're not only thinking, okay, our heroes may be in real trouble here, but there's that part of you that's kind of going, I think Thanos has a point. Basically, and watch this, y'all, this is the one connection he's never going to see coming. If you really think about it, Thanos is pretty much an environmentalist. He's just trying to deal with overpopulation.
Yeah.
He's the MCU's Al Gore.
We're going to do what we did then. On the count of 3, we're each going to say our rating for this movie. 1, 2, 3. 5 out of 5.
And now, the conclusion.
Hi everybody, welcome to Reel Geeks. This month we are filming from an undisclosed office location because I remember what happened during the Infinity War review and I am not taking my chances. So, as always, with me is my co-host Paula.
Hello.
And this month we are joined by the returning Kayla is going to kill me.
Yeah, I'm seeing movies in the future where Jesse comes after you.
Yeah, it's okay. I prepared for bad things. Just a second, I can fix this.
You sure?
I can totally fix this.
Positive. This I gotta see.
I borrowed a thing. This will be fine. Everything will be fine. All I gotta do.
Did you get the manual with that at least? Do you know how to work it?
I saw Infinity War. I know it's not that hard. I just gotta snap my fingers.
Kids, I love you.
All I gotta do is snap and everything will be fine. Don't worry. I fixed it after Thanos used it. It'll be fine. Just fix. Don't worry. So I just gotta. There. Okay. So everything's fine. Trevor's back now and crap. Wait, wasn't that over there earlier? What?
Do you ever get the feeling that you want to start doing this? Just,
Oh, low budget mirror universe. I used the wrong stone. Okay, I know what to do. No, this seriously, I can do this. I swear, I can get. We'll try to get it. I'm gonna get it this time. Okay, see? No. Okay, we're still not good.
I suddenly hear the chips thing going through my head.
Hey, what the hell is that weird? Why is everything dark? What? Oh.
Wait, I need to fix my hair. Okay.
Aviators. Bad mustache.
Porn stash, yeah. Again, chips theme music.
Weird music. Oh, 70s cop movie. We're leaving now.
Yeah.
Because suddenly I'm a rogue film reviewer who refuses to follow anyone's established rules. And we have to leave now because this is a 70s cop film, so the best you can hope for is the hooker with the heart of gold who's dead by the end of Act 2. We gots to go.
I'm not playing the hooker.
Like I said, we gotta go! Alright.
6 hours later.
Okay, we're black and white again. Okay, well,
I told you, you'd need the manual for this.
But no, I mean, we can hear each other this time. This is progress. But, no, seriously, this is easy, and, wait. Black and white. I suddenly hear weird, creepy laughter.
Uh-oh.
And I'm pretty sure I now know what evil lurks in the hearts of men. I jumped us into an episode of The Shadow. Screw the review. I'm staying right here.
No, we're not.
No. I'm gonna stay here.
Okay, again, Kayla is gonna kill you.
It's 1942. She's not gonna be born for another half century. It's fine. All right, one more. Oh, there, see? I got it. It worked.
Give me this.
No, I got it now. I just gotta do one more thing. And then we can get started.
What one more thing? You brought Trevor back. What one more thing?
Where did I go?
I'm getting us a sequel to Robin Hood.
No, you're not!
No! Oh! Damn it.
I don't know what just happened, but thank you, Paula, I think.
It was close.
Okay, it's early 2019, you have a kid, and we're talking about Avengers Endgame now. Trust me, you've seen it. Awesome. As we've more or less established, we're safe-ish from Thanos, maybe?
I don't know, I'm wearing a pin that says otherwise.
Well, I've survived every version of the Thanos snap there's been, so I'm good. And we're, of course, going to be discussing Avengers Endgame, some general thoughts first, and let's be honest, this part I think is going to be really quick before we get into spoilers, because I'm pretty sure we're all thinking the same thing.
How do you talk about this movie without spoilers?
Well, there's that.
There's that.
So, the character interaction was good, the script was good, the CGI was good. One of my favorite quotes is, "I don't know how you're gonna get that over there," and then somebody else coming on screen and saying, "Don't worry, they're not alone."
She's not alone, she has
I
help.
was using they for a reason, because I wasn't gonna give away the gender. But anyway.
It's not like there's only one female character in the movie.
This is true. But I actually went to the movie with my youngest, with my 22-year-old, and she was fine until the funeral. I was a sobbing mess. But at points I'm laughing, I'm jumping up in my chair, I'm doing this one because it was just so awesome!
In my case, I was kind of sitting toward the front of a theater with a family right beside me. Like, I had my right side, the right side of me was empty seat. Start of the movie, one of their kids was in the seat to the left side of me. By the end of the movie, that kid was no longer there.
Why?
He had moved away from me to the other side of his family.
Scare the kid.
So if we've learned anything important from this, don't go to a Marvel movie with me. I may have lost my mind on multiple occasions.
So you're a bit emotive, is what?
A little bit.
Yeah, okay.
There's no thinking with this movie. It's all
I mean-
feels. All emotion.
Until you hit about the 2-hour mark and you're going, how much longer before I can go to the bathroom? Aside from that.
See, I went into this with a strategy. I used the bathroom before the movie. I didn't consume anything
So
until the
that was my
movie
downfall.
actually started, and I paced myself through the movie.
I've just had a very simple mentality in regards to the runtime of this film. Peter Jackson trained us for this on multiple occasions,
Peter
so
Jackson
I don't want to hear
had
any
downtime.
complaints from anyone.
Peter Jackson's movies had downtime that you could sneak out and not miss a whole lot. This didn't have a whole lot of downtime.
No.
No.
Virtually none. Apparently, there's a thing going around online, and it basically says there's literally only 4 moments in the whole movie that are worthy of bathroom break.
And they all happened in the first 10 minutes, right?
Give or take. But, and I think another thing that kind of jumped out at me of it was that in regards to the promotion of the film, and they kept telling us that everything that had been released was from the first 20 minutes of the movie. No!
No, because there was some stuff that I saw that happened later in the
Oh
movie
yeah,
that
oh
was
yeah,
in the trailer.
oh yeah!
Definitely.
They lied.
They pulled a double lie, and I applaud it. I loved everything about this movie, and considering they had 3 hours where really all they had to do was wrap up character arcs. That was damn good 3 hours.
Yeah.
And they successfully follow the rules of time travel, which, let's be honest, doesn't have a whole lot of established rules.
Granted, but also the biggest thing with any story that involves time travel is the story needs to follow its own time travel narrative.
Yeah.
This movie established rules, and it followed them. And it worked brilliantly because of that.
Oh, absolutely. And even the one instance where, for me, that kind of didn't really work, it was still so good in every other way that by the time that plot point came up, I didn't care. I'm having a good time. This is perfect storytelling. Y'all have a get out of jail free card.
So my general thoughts on the film, obviously, much like these two here, I friggin' loved it. I think it's honestly my new favorite movie, and not just because of the movie itself, but because of the experience I had in the cinema watching
exactly.
it. It was probably one of the most energetic film-going experiences that I've ever had. Everybody in the audience was perfect. Not a single person got up for the bathroom. Everybody was quiet when they needed to be. Everybody was reacting properly when they needed to react properly. The cheering, the clapping, the overall tension and excitement and everything about it, like, it was amazing to be in the center of all of that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And all the character arcs are perfectly wrapped up, but 90% of them, I mean, there's one or two that are as final as can be, but most of them are done in a way that if they wanted to, they could still bring that actor back for like a one-off movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, between Doctor Strange and the stones are still in existence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, and
So-
I'm not even thinking of him really. I'm mostly thinking of someone who we all knew was done after this movie. And from the look on Paula's face, I'm gonna give the spoiler warning now.
Thank you.
Because I was referring to Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
He goes back in time to put all the Infinity Stones back where they were in time,
Yeah.
which writing-wise, I have to applaud the movie for, because that's a time travel element that a lot of stories don't really bother with. And if, like, 2 or 3 years from now, Chris Evans is like, yeah, maybe I wouldn't mind doing one more Captain America if it was a good script.
Well, no,
They've got somewhere that they can put the character and do it.
They have decades
Exactly.
of potential storylines.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, he's with Peggy.
Yeah.
So he can, any decade between going back with Peggy and Infinity and Endgame, they all kinds of potential. And I love that he came down, he left, and then they're like, why is he back? Why isn't he back? Okay, so there's somebody over on the bench there. And I love that Sam now has the shield.
Yeah, it was really going to be a toss-up between whether or not Sam became the new Captain America or Bucky became the new Captain America, because there's precedent in the comic world for either one of them.
Yeah, there is for both, but
I do like that it was Sam.
oh yeah, doing it with Sam, you get two things. I think because of everything we've seen with the Winter Soldier, like cinematically in the past, Sam makes more sense. It also brings the MCU more in line with the modern comic book timeline. So that there, it makes it make a little more sense that if they wanted to, they could bring in like the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Let's be honest, Sony's never going to let them, but they could do it. Someone like Riri Williams or Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, and there's already been talk about a lot of these characters potentially showing up in Phase 4. Like
We could see Robert Downey Jr. show up in another movie as an AI. With all of Captain America's time traveling, he could still show up as a supporting character anywhere and everywhere.
little cameo here, a little cameo there.
Exactly.
And I mean, he does have the ass of America, so it's got to show up somewhere. I loved that. I loved that line, and not only did I love that line, I loved that it was Tony that said it.
Yeah, and then he said it. He was like, "That is the ass of America."
I think Scott says it at one point, and then even Cap himself is looking at his past self like,
Yep.
Yep.
And I mean, even as yaps,
The
I have no problem saying
they're
they're not wrong.
There were so many little moments in this movie that were just such fan service, just taking little nuggets out of the comics, both old and new, and a lot of it was Captain America stuff. There was that. There was the little Hail Hydra bit that was so.
So didn't that come out a couple years ago?
Yeah,
everyone was freaking
Everyone was
out.
freaking out. Everyone was furious about the fact that that happened, and it's like, guys, have you not heard of Cliffhanger?
He swore in this movie. He swore, and I was just like, oh my god, Cap just swore.
But that's a testament too of the character growth that we've seen with Cap, from all the way in the first Avenger, where he was very much that Boy Scout kind of character, and through the various movies in the many years, and he has slowly grown and seen in the world less as black and white and more as various shades of gray.
Yeah.
And he's come to understand that he needs to kind of
The others were a
reflect
bad
that.
influence on him.
Well, speaking of bad influences, I take my segues wherever I can get them. It's the same way with Tony, because we saw in the first Avengers movie, where Cap has the line where he says to Tony, "You're not the guy to jump on the grenade. You're not the guy to make the big sacrifice play." But then at the climactic moment in this movie, that's exactly what he does.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm sorry, but Tony Stark may be one of the most well-developed characters in modern day cinema.
I think going back and seeing his father and connecting with his father again and like having that moment.
Yeah.
You know, I've known this man to be tight and closed off and all and stern and everything else, and now there's this man whose wife is pregnant and he's worried about being a good dad. And Tony got to see that. And I think that played into it.
I think also we have to hit the character deaths at some point.
Yep.
Some of them we knew we were coming.
There was one in particular that I don't think anybody saw coming.
No, I was actually just about to get to that because everyone expected Cap to die.
But the turn that they did with his character, I thought was a nice touch.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just outright killing him, they basically just aged him out of it.
They gave him his happy ending.
They gave him his happy ending.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but I was in the theater and
Save the last dance.
When we see them kind of panning into that house at the end of the movie, I was sitting in the theater going, if that isn't anyone other than Peggy, an entire fandom is going to riot.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he doesn't, because Sam asks, so can I ask about her? Are you going to tell me about her? No.
Nope.
But the one death that I don't think anybody saw coming was Natasha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which...
But I mean, how they led up to the death, going for the Soul Stone. You knew if it was going to be Hawkeye or if it was going to be one of them, Barton or Natasha. It was going to be Natasha because Barton has a wife and kids. There was no way Natasha was going to let him die with his family back at home. Well, hopefully back at home.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was fighting to get his family back, and as far as Natasha was concerned, she still had all of them were her family. So for her, it was a no-brainer.
No, it was literally again going back to the first Avengers movie. You see her, she's talking about wanting to wipe the red from her ledger, knowing she's done all these
Horrible
evil
things.
things, and this is the big redemption moment. And I'm honestly, this is gonna sound bad, but I'm honestly glad they killed her off, simply because we knew not everybody was getting out of this alive.
Yep.
And there was so much speculation around Cap and Iron Man that if they had been the two to go, that would have been super predictable and very disappointing.
Yeah.
I wanted a surprise death, and that's exactly what we got. So
Yeah.
oh yeah, but actually, to get back to a point I brought up earlier about the problem I had with the time travel element, that was basically it. Because
they've altered the timeline that they knew.
yeah, they've had past Nebula is shot and I'm pretty sure killed, but future Nebula is still alive. Or Mjolnir being pulled out of Thor: The Dark World,
Yep.
which means he doesn't necessarily have it to lose in Thor 3.
Yep.
Although that can be explained with Cap, and that was the moment where I went, fuck it, I don't care.
I squeed when that happened. Yeah.
Thor's reaction to, I knew it!
Yep, that was, if anyone else besides Thor could handle, it would be Cap.
Oh yeah, and that's another one where there is a comic book precedent because the Cap is one of the ones.
There's actually literally dozens of characters in the comics that have wielded Mjolnir. But Cap is definitely
Cap was that they could have left it at the tease in Age of Ultron. I'm glad they didn't because that was great.
That was amazing. And him wielding the shield and Mjolnir together was just
And the two of them switching off for the axe, and yeah, that was holding it. Here, you take a little one. That was just, there were so many parts in the movie where I was peeing myself laughing.
I think that's one of the biggest strengths of this film, where the good parts can compensate for the problems so well. And also with that final battle, I honestly, I kind of wish we had more Captain Marvel in the movie.
That should surprise me. Yeah.
Just she's just the character that I know the least, so I wanted to see more of her.
And I get that, but at the same time, as Kevin Feige has said, the most powerful hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. by that token, it makes sense that you have to use her sparingly. Otherwise, you just run the risk of her just being sort of a catch-all to kind of solve every problem in your movie, and that's boring. You need to kind of mix things up.
We already have Henry Cavill for that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so I like the idea that like she is kind of playing more of this role of, well, you guys are all the Avengers. You're looking after Earth. I don't really have to be here most of the time. I can go out there and do my thing to protect other people in the universe.
Well, that's what she says to Rocket. You know, like, well, where have you been? I'm on different planets.
To Rhodey.
To Rhodey, sorry.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, they don't have the Avengers. They don't have you guys, so, yeah.
oh yeah, no, like I said, as a viewer, I would have liked to have seen more, just because.
I like this one.
But
I still think she was used quite effectively.
oh no, that's exactly what I was about to say. What we did get was overall really well done. A little shaky when we see her in the opening of the movie. Just in part because I kind of wish the stinger that we had where she first arrives at the very after Captain Marvel. I kind of wish that they had done something like where they reused the stinger of the Winter Soldier being captured actually in Civil War. I would have liked this in because it felt a little too coming into the middle, but everything after the 5 years mark was great. The moment with her and Peter, hi Peter, I'm Carol. I think you have something for me. I gotta be honest, it was kind of adorable.
I loved that whole bit. Like, as a fan, as a female who's been watching all of these movies that, you know, guys have been well represented. Now we've got Wonder Woman, we've got that scene, that moment right there where all of the female superheroes and supporting characters had Carol's back. I was just like, yes!
Right?
Yes!
How I did not start screaming in the theater at that moment.
I started screaming in the theater at that moment.
I don't know how I didn't.
It was like hair standing on end, shivers up my spine. It was.
Oh yeah,
Valkyrie
beautiful.
riding majestically. We finally got rescue. Oh my god!
I mean, not canonically officially rescue, but again,
Close.
I don't care. It was kind of great. Yeah, like that entire thing, my jaw is just slowly going down.
And that whole battle was full of so many different little moments. Like, oh my god.
Oh my god, Scarlet Witch. Okay, guys, seriously,
Right?
You don't piss off a woman, you don't piss off a woman scorned, you don't piss off a witch, and you don't piss off a redhead, and Thanos pissed off the wrong woman. It's just, you've taken everything from me, I don't even know who you are. You will. Just,
And now he does.
yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. This is also the first film since, I believe, The Incredible Hulk that has no stingers.
Yep.
Which I was actually rather pleased with.
It's Endgame. If there's any movie that doesn't need a post-credit scene, it's this movie because it's finishing things.
Yeah.
Personally, I almost kind of sort of wanted something almost similar to the shawarma scene in the first Avengers movie, as almost a way of kind of bringing that full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm okay with them not doing that, and I'm actually really okay with the fact that while we didn't get a post-credit scene, we got a post-credit sound, and I really appreciated that in lieu of everything that happened.
Yeah, there was that. There was also with the mid-credits thing. Like, I actually didn't bother to stay around for that, just because I knew of what it was. It was okay, cool. What I really liked was what they did in the mid-credits, where showing like the names of the core actors and then their signatures.
It was their way of signing off.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple articles comparing this in ways to the Star Trek franchise, and that mid-credits thing really jumped out at me because that's what they did in Star Trek 6.
Yes.
Letting the original crew sign off. And it was I'm sorry, that was beautiful. That was great.
Can we acknowledge something?
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice to have Stanley.
A de-aged Stan Lee.
Yes. So was that filmed ahead of time, or was that?
Yes.
Yeah. They, as I understand it.
Hello, puppy.
Random animal cameo.
That would be Zeus.
As I understand it, before Stanley passed, there were, I believe,
I know he
4
was filming
cameo
more of them,
scenes
yeah.
filmed. Yeah. So it was Captain Marvel, this one, and then they have 2 more in the bank for something.
Actually, Endgame was the last one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So it was Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, and Endgame were before the new shows.
Oh, okay. From what?
But he also did technically shoot one for Venom.
Yeah, but let's be honest, we don't talk about Venom.
And he also did technically voice one for Into the Spider-Verse.
Which that's the Sony one we're allowed to acknowledge. And I think really the only final thought here before we go into ratings, there was this one moment during the final battle when Captain Marvel and Thanos are fighting, and Thanos headbutts her, and she doesn't even flinch or react in any way. And I do just want to say to all of the MRA Captain Marvel hating types, I haven't read your comments yet, and I'm already laughing at you. Because, again, I love that. He headbutts her, pulls back, looks down, she hasn't reacted in any way, and you can see that split second on Thanos' face of, oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah. The fact that he literally had to pull a dirty trick to actually get her off of him. I mean, like, he pulled the Power Stone out of the gauntlet, put it in his other fist, and then punched her. Like, he pot-shotted her. That's literally, she's that good. He literally had to pot-shot her to actually beat her. Like,
which of course led to Tony going in with the idea of taking this out.
Let's be honest, you've been watching up to this point. You know where we're gonna go, but we're gonna go into ratings anyway. And I'm gonna say 5 just for the sake of the title card, but like 5 doesn't cover it. Like if nothing else, as we've said, this is a perfect wrap up of a decade of filmmaking. But when you can create a superhero film where you can get Michelle Pfeiffer to do a walk-on with no lines, and she's agreed to it, that's kind of impressive.
Okay, we're good.
That's literally how good the MCU has become. Oh, by the way, 5. Yeah. The MCU has gotten to have such a high praise reputation for itself that these big Hollywood actors, A, want to be in it, B, want to do whatever the hell they want them to do, and C, will do it in any capacity.
As for my rating, I was going to ask if I can give it higher than a 5.
Go for it, I don't care.
6, 7, yeah.
Yeah, like,
You'll have to do a new number card.
oh,
Yeah.
Overall, if nothing else, and I think we'll close with this. If you watched this movie and you did not get giddy at Sam's faint cap on your left, you have no soul. I'm sorry. You may not be human. Because that was the line. We hear that faint crackling on your left, and you see the little portal just over Cap's shoulder.
Yeah.
From that point forward, this movie completely loses its damn mind. And
All
it's
the CGI.
glorious. Next month, though, we'll be traveling to a whole new world. Yeah, I went there. As we discuss Guy Ritchie's live-action Aladdin. And I can't wait for this.
So long as the music sequences are Bollywood, I'll be okay.
you could say you guys will be in for a fantastic point of view.
What?
It's a lyric from the song. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view.
Sure.
He's not
I'm not the one who watches Disney movies. This, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Yeah, it's still on.
Making sure.
Again, Infinity War review stuff happened. But again, with Aladdin, I've said it before, I'm going to say again. A man known for directing British gangster films is doing a live-action remake of an animated classic as a Bollywood musical. I am sold! All they had to say was Guy Ritchie and I was there. Not because I'm a fan, but because King Arthur, Legend of the Sword was terrible, and this is going to be glorious.
Yeah.
So until then, Out of the Broom Closet have any shows coming up?
Yes, I'll actually be at one tomorrow, but I don't think you'll have this released by then.
I will be impressed if I have this edited by then.
I will be in Carol's Corner May 18th for a holistic event. And again, I mean, that's listed on my social media. My website is outofthebroomcloset.ca, and that has everything that you need to know about Broom Closet, including social media links.
And yeah, so somewhere in about the next month or so, we'll be showing up in the next Team Nova Community Day video, where we're hunting Torchics. Think Tweety Bird if he knew how to throw fire. And I'm hoping we can end the video at a chicken place, just because the irony alone. So with that, see everybody next month.
Bye.
It's a wrap.
Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, share this video with your friends, and drop us a line anytime you like. I'm getting my Robin Hood sequel, damn it.